Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to talk about PlayStation 5 and the value of PlayStation 5 and everything good about PlayStation 5. I have made a lot of videos currently about Xbox and praising Xbox, and I'm a gamer, dude. I love both systems. I love my PS5. I love my Xbox Series X. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the show, and I really appreciate it. So, I've had my PlayStation 5 for over 3 months now. Yeah, there are things to definitely nitpick, about both consoles, but overall, the PlayStation 5 is amazing. You get, if you're coming from a PlayStation 4 Pro, then it's a major jump. Like, it really is. Like, it is way more powerful than a PS4 Pro. Like, no question asked. I mean, if you had, if the best console you had last generation was a PS4 Pro, then jumping straight over to PS5, because PS4 Pro, there was maybe a handful of games that looked, that held up pretty good to like a 4K, resolution, like God of War, Ghost of Tsushima was like 1800p. You had, I think The Last of Us 2 was 1440p, but I mean, you had some pretty, like, there was a few games that could actually get up to like a pretty nice checkerboard 4K, like Death Stranding, stuff like that. So basically, the PS5 completely ramps that way up. I mean, you're getting a native 4K on almost every game that I've seen so far, and 60 frames per second mode that, it ranges, from like 1440p up to 4K. Like Ratchet and Clank knocks it out of the park. It looks like a 4K image on the 60 frames a second. So you're definitely getting, like, if you're going from a PS4 Pro to a PS5, like, you are getting a next gen, highly freaking, like, it's an amazing, it's an amazing experience to go from that to that. So all of your PlayStation 4 games basically run on that. So I mean, there was like a handful, maybe 5 that didn't work. If you have PS Plus, you get access to 20 titles that are in the PlayStation, like 20 of like Sony, like the PS4's like really good games. Like they're good. You get like God of War. You get The Last of Us remastered. Persona 5, like, you get 20 of them, so it's not a bad deal. I mean, that is pretty cool. PS Plus, or not PS Plus, but PS Now, I'm not gonna lie, like, I had it, I was subscribed to it for about a year. I never really used it because most of the PS3 games you have to stream them, and the stream quality on that was just so freaking bad. And I have gigabit internet, and it didn't help any of that. It was terrible. There was bad latency. But there are some select titles like PS4 games that you can actually download to your hard drive and play those that are on PS Now. I don't think the value of PS Now is there just yet, but if they did, if Sony went back and like added like as many PlayStation 4 titles and started putting PlayStation 5 games in there, even if PlayStation did 6 months after launch, put them on PS Now, PS5 games, it would be just as good a service as Game Pass, probably, I would say. I think it should be closer to 3 months, though. I'm pretty sure Sony's going to do something like that. PlayStation 5, the value of the PlayStation 5 over the PlayStation 4 Pro is it's insane. Like, it's definitely just the upgrade to the graphics and FP or the CPU is more than worth the $500. More than worth that. It is a definitely good value. So I do recommend, if you're coming from a PlayStation 4 Pro, if you're a PlayStation fan, yeah, no question about it, you should definitely buy, a PlayStation 5. I also do think that the biggest thing with this is, like, the PlayStation 5 It does have kind of a steep price entry, and most companies, most places that are selling them, they want you to buy them with in bundles. You know, they want you to pack in a controller, they want you to pack in like 2 games, or they want you to buy, you know, a gift card or something like that. Just anything like to raise that price, you know, to raise that barrier to like $650, $700 just for you to even get it. And like if you're somebody that, you know, has bought all their games digital and you just want the system, like you got to buy other stuff on top of that you don't even need through a lot of these retailers, through a lot of retailers. The only way to really get it is like Target or Best Buy. I mean, Best Buy's doing the bundles, but Target, they I didn't have to buy a bundle with mine. I bought mine $500 MSRP out the door. No questions asked. I got on there in the morning, I bought it, I was able to go pick it up an hour later. So yeah, I mean, PlayStation 5 is a good value when it comes to, you know, what you had in a PlayStation 4 Pro over. Like, I understand that I'm always saying, you know, oh yeah, like Xbox is a good value. Game Pass is an amazing value. It really is. But if you're a PlayStation fan, and that's what you've always been, and that's what you always want to be, PlayStation 5 is a good value. You are getting one hell of a machine for $500. And if you can find the digital one, it's basically the same thing, man. You get, you know, for $100 less, but then you are tied to digital purchases for the life of that console. So that's something you're going to have to decide if that's right for you. Me personally, I have zero problem buying digital games. Zero problem whatsoever. The only thing that does suck is if your account does get suspended by like PlayStation or Xbox, you could lose all your games. Like, they could be gone. So that is something to think about. You know, I mean, I've heard of a few people doing that, but you know, by and large, man, if you're a PlayStation fan, that's, you know, that's a lot harder to happen because PlayStation's really not the multiplayer type system. A lot of people that buy PlayStation and are PlayStation fans are, if you're buying a PlayStation for PlayStation exclusives, chances are you are not that big into online gaming. I'm still not really that big into online gaming. I'd play at event like every once in a while, but I am just not the kind of person to get online and play a lot of games with a lot of other people. So PlayStation 5 is definitely a good value. If you're going from a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Pro to a PS5, it is an amazing value. You are getting one hell of a machine for $500. You know, that's like upgrading your graphics card. I mean, most graphic card updates, if you're a PC gamer, that's like $500, man, out the door. So now let's move on to the features that the PlayStation 5 has. Okay, the controller. On some games, I'm not going to lie, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. On some games, the controller does feel a little gimmicky. Whatever. I mean, but some games do it really freaking well. So that is something that's on developers. Not on the PlayStation controller. That's on developers to utilize the controller more fully to its potential. That's all I'm really going to say about that. The controller is good. It's really good on some games, and it's just basic on others. So that there, take that for what you will. I do like it on some, and when it works really good. When it doesn't work, it just go into the settings and turn off the triggers and all that stuff, and you'll be fine. Like, you won't have a problem with it. You can turn them off, and they're just like regular controllers. So that is awesome. I love that you can do that. That is a bonus, that you can turn those off if they are not what you need them to be for a certain game. But like I said, on some games, when it works freaking well, and it works good, and the haptics feel amazing on some things. WRC9, they did really good with the haptics. Like, when you can feel when you switch different gravels, like when you switch from gravel to tarmac back to, you can definitely feel that, and it feels good. Astro's Playroom feels really good. There are some things in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart that feel really cool. And then some things that, like, and then it's like, what the heck, you know, I was feeling this amazing feeling, but now I feel nothing. Like, it's dead. So that one's kind of hit or miss. But then there's, the controller is definitely good. Racing games, that was the big seller for me, was racing games. You know, the having the to be able to feel the gas pedal and stuff like that, and that kind of. It's like a pull and then pull and pull. I don't like it. It's not what I wanted it to be because I can't put like the gradual pressure on there like I wanted to. It's more of a uh, it's more of like a two switches. You know, you push it in, you push it down harder, and that's it. The like gradual pressure thing is not there because you'll think because they do have enough pressure on it to the second pull, but when you're on there and you're thinking that you're going fast, you're really not. So like in motorcycle racing games that I've been playing, it totally screws you up. You're losing way too much time playing around with those stupid freaking triggers. So I just turn them off on that. So basically, that's the controller part. Okay, so then you have features of the PlayStation 5 that are actually there. Okay, so sadly, it's been 7 months. The SSD bay is still not open. You cannot expend your PlayStation 5 memory. There are more than enough games that are PlayStation 5 that are double the capacity. For somebody like me that buys almost every single game when it comes out, I'm already full. I'm already transferring games over to an external hard drive, which takes forever. It's a pain in the butt, and you have to stay on the screen that whole time. When you select the games and you go to move them, you have to leave it there. You can't switch back out. At least I haven't found a way to switch back out and continue playing games. So I don't know if that's something or if it or what's going on, but yeah. But when you are downloading games from the internet, yes, you can continue to play whatever game you want. Other features, there's there's little help boxes and stuff. You know, if you're in a game and you need help, you can find help. That will probably get better as time goes on. Right now, I haven't really found any use for it. I've never even tried to do that. I don't even care. I usually just play my games and experience them however I'm going to experience them. And if I get through a game, I get through a game. If I don't, then I just put it in my backlog and go back to it when I feel ready. So there's, the UI is 4K. I do think that they probably shouldn't have done the 4K. They should have just I don't know. I feel like it eats up resources, but it does look pretty good. So it's not taking anything away from the experience, but it is adding to it. So that does look pretty good. Okay. Backward compatible, enhanced backward compatibility. Some developers are taking advantage of that, and they are adding new features to PlayStation 5, but most of them have to create a PlayStation 5 version. So you are at the mercy of them actually going through and doing all that code, but they are starting to get better. There are more and more developers that are taking, mostly a lot of AA developers are more likely to do that right now. There's some, if they're a AAA developer, they're probably going to charge you a fee from $10 to $20, or sell you like a greatest, like a director's cut type deal and charge you $40 for it. So but at least you are getting that option. So far, Sony's first party game studios have basically almost all of them have updated you to 60 frames a second. You still haven't got like Horizon Zero Dawn 60. You still haven't got what is it? Uncharted 4 or Lost Legacy. Those are the three that I really want them to give me a 60 frames per second patch but you're not getting any enhanced resolution. You're not getting any extra added features to these. They're just 60 frames per second upgrades. We did just get Final Fantasy VII updated. It does look good in 4K. Like it does. It looks a lot better. Like it's a much better experience now in the 4K, and you get a 60 frames a second, which is even better. Which tops out like if you were playing on PS4 Pro, it basically looks the same, but you do get all of the better textures. You get all of the extra lighting and everything else that they added to this game. You get all of that at the same resolution that you had on PS4 Pro, and it stays higher the whole way through. So that is definitely a plus. 60 frames a second at the same experience with better textures and everything. Amazing experience. Like I love it. There is a lot of things that PlayStation is doing right that I think they're starting to warm up to the whole, let's get something out there for the fans. Let's get, something for them. A lot of games are coming to the PlayStation 4 that were only on PlayStation 5. I personally don't see that as a bad thing. If they can figure out a way to make those work as a sellable product on the last generation console, I am more than for that. I do not think that they should completely drop everybody at the drop of a dime. Even if those experiences are altered to be able to run on that last gen console, I'm perfectly okay with that as well. So, yes, I do believe that PlayStation 5 is a good value. If you're coming from a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro, I do think that you will be able to. I mean, they just recently did a sale on PlayStation 5 games, so, but they are pretty much holding their higher price tag a lot. So when you do buy one, you are probably, unless you're buying the used copy or physical, you're definitely going to end up paying, full price still for the most part for any of these games you want to play. I highly recommend, if you're going to buy a PlayStation 5, that you buy your console first and then, continue playing your older games that have been updated and wait, for sales on some of these games. Because, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Every single game, if it wasn't for me having a YouTube channel and, reviewing games and stuff, I don't know if the value would have been there for a lot of these games. Up front for $70, like Returnal, I believe that game was worth $50. Ratchet and Clank, I believe that's worth a solid $60, and I do recommend it if you want to see what your PlayStation 5 can do. It is by far the best looking PlayStation 5 game on the market right now today. So if you want to see what your PlayStation can do, I mean, it's kind of a hard sell for me to say, yeah, go spend the $70 on it, because where I live, that's $75 after tax. So, I mean, $60, I could recommend it to you all day long. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely way better quality than anything we were getting last generation with $60. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's worth a $10 price increase over that. I was able to finish that game in just over 10 hours on the standard difficulty, so I just don't know if the time versus, like the beauty of the game and everything really constitutes an extra $10. Like, I know they worked harder on it, and I know that they did more work, but that's just standard. I mean, it's not like it was that much more work. They got a new powerful console to put that on there. You know what I mean? Like, I get that, but it's not like they were super constrained with power. They're not. I mean, it was not like they were trying to push the PS4 Pro to its limits. And if they're pushing the PlayStation 5 Pro, the PlayStation 5 to its limits with it, then maybe we do need to like rethink, whatever. But yeah, I don't personally think the $70 price increase this generation was warranted across the board. I think for certain games and certain engineers and stuff like that, yeah, definitely a $70 price tag is more than worth it, But for a game aimed at a teen audience, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. The value for me, I wanted to see the new beautiful graphics of the PlayStation 5, so I bought it, and I have zero regrets. I mean, it was a great experience for me. So I'm sure that if you do buy it for $70, you're going to have a good experience, but I do think that it would feel better at $60 or even better on PS Plus. I'm just saying, I mean, it's definitely going to show you what you want to see, but is it exactly the game that's right for you? Like, is it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, if you're older like me, does a teen game really hold that much value to you? Regardless of the visual quality and stuff like that. For me, I was all right with it because it was a good experience. I do love Rivet. She's pretty cool. So other than that, I mean, all the features on the PlayStation 5, you get 120 frames a second on select games. You get the full catalog of PlayStation 4 games that are out. You can play them all basically on there. Yeah, I mean, my overall experience with PlayStation 5 has been positive. I mean, like, I don't regret buying it at all. I mean, if anything, I wish I would have, went out of my way to try to find one sooner. I did wait, a little while to get one, and I'm not even gonna lie, the the anxiety of like not being able to get one like right when I wanted to get one was kind of what was pushing me farther and farther to want to go buy one. And so when I had the extra money, I was just like, I'm just going to find one. I'm going to do it. And my biggest thing was I wanted a digital version. So I kept waiting and waiting and waiting and trying to find one. But, and I was waiting. I was just waiting for them to get on the shelves, honestly. That was my goal. I was like, all right, as soon as they're at the store, I'll just go buy one, whatever. I don't know. Like, it just, like around March, it just started, like, that anxiety started getting to me. Like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to get one? So it drove me crazy, and then I went and got one. It literally took me a week to find a PlayStation 5 after I decided to go for a disc version. About a week. I tried the Sony Direct. I got put in the queue about 30 or about an hour wait time, and then the very next Thursday after that Thursday I was able to buy one at Target in the morning. So for me it wasn't a hard experience. It took about a week, which I'm grateful for because I could have spent that money on a whole bunch of other stupid things, and I'm grateful that I was able to find a PlayStation 5. And you will be grateful when you get yours too. PlayStation 5 is a good value. I do recommend upgrading if you have a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Pro. I know that my channel might seem pretty Xbox positive, but there's a reason for that. Okay, I've been a PlayStation fan for well over 25 years. I know what to expect from PlayStation. And I don't have to be in a hurry to run out and get a PlayStation. I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about running out to get an Xbox either. I mean, I was more excited. I mean, honestly, when I upgraded my Xbox Series X on day one is because I had a lot of games that I wanted to take advantage of the enhanced backward compatibility. Games that I wanted to play that I'm still playing, that I want to still play. So that was my biggest thing for upgrading early. I mean, we're 7 months into the generation now. Microsoft's going to start releasing their first-party games that were supposed to be out with the Xbox when it launched, but they did not. They just weren't ready. I would much rather them wait and take that time and then put them out, but I mean, so I get that a lot of people watch my channel and they're like, oh my gosh, this guy's all about Xbox. No, man, I'm a gamer, man. I love both consoles. I love my PlayStation 5. I love my Xbox Series X. I do. Yeah, like that's what it is. It's about gaming, man. I want to play the best experience of any game that comes out, whether that's going to be on the Xbox or the PlayStation 5. I want that experience. I want my PlayStation first party games. I want my Xbox first party games. I want to be able to experience these no matter what console they're on. That's why I don't serve either one of these boxes. Like, I don't care if either one of them, is on top. I have no stock in it. I have no, you know what I mean? Like, I just want the best experience either way. And I think you should too. So, if you like this content, this video is pretty long. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got a lot of people asking me to start making shorter videos, but this one here, has to be done. So you have a good night, and I will see you in the next video.